The University of the Gambia, in collaboration with the West African Science Service Center on Climate Change and Adaptation of the Institute of Research for Sustainable Development, has commenced the International Stocktaking Conference on Climate Services for Risk Reduction. Held at the Dawda, Kairaba, Jawara Conference Center in Bijilo, the event gathers climate scientists, policymakers, and representatives from global organizations to discuss strategies for making climate risks across Africa. Camara attended the event and see files in this report.
Today, the Gambia welcomed delegates from around the world for the two-day International Stocktaking Conference on Climate Services for Risk Reduction. This event aims to strengthen partnership and promote knowledge sharing in climate-related risk management, drawing policymakers, scientists, and sector specialists. Opening the conference, Vice President His Excellency Mohamed B.S. Jallow highlighted the crucial role of climate services in addressing vulnerabilities, particularly within West Africa.
This conference is set to drive the climate risk service for risk reduction in Africa by strengthening climate resilience in West Africa and ensure better climate knowledge and services, including better early warning available at regional and local levels for both disaster risk reduction and adaptation to climate change. Specifically, the initiative seeks to examine potential areas of cooperation in research on climate risk management, resilience, and adaptation in West Africa, and thus defragment the program landscape in favor of common goals and common impact of funding.
Vice President Jallow also outlined the Gambia's own challenges with climate change, including rising sea levels and altered rainfall patterns that impact agriculture and livelihoods.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Pillar 1 of the Recovery-Focused National Development Plan centered on building community resilience to shocks. Since fragilities arising from effects of climate change, which is worsening food security, livelihoods, and poverty, government strengthened initiatives to complement national sectoral programs to address the effects of these combined shocks and build resilience at household and community levels. The government in this context is committed to assisting communities and households to recover from these multiple threats and build resilience against future shocks.
Organized by the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources, the conference, in partnership with the international agencies, is set to cover critical themes such as best practices in climate services, advancement in data collection, and strategies for reaching vulnerable communities with climate information. Professor Emmanuel Ramdi, Executive Director of the West African Science Service Center on Climate Change and Adaptation, highlighted the conference mission, stressing the need for timely climate information to support disaster preparedness.
This conference is gathering some of the greatest minds from diverse fields across the continent and Europe with a united objective to address the steaming challenges of climate change and build global resilience for the future of our planet. This gathering today is special because it marks the climax of our critical work, including 4 major webinars jointly organized by WASCAL and IRD. The 4 major webinars have identified significant gaps in climate services for risk reduction.
Mr. Stephen Dawda, head of diplomatic mission for France in the Gambia, emphasized the importance of the conference in addressing climate change challenges facing West Africa, calling it a vital forum for regional collaboration on climate resilience.
I could say, and unfortunately, all resources remain the same as 50 years ago. But it's not even right. They are diminishing. Salinizations, floods, harsh dry season, waters that must be drawn from ever deeper sources, more frequent heat waves, and all of that leading to an impact on agricultural productivity. This is harmful the result is terrible. This is why we desperately need you, researchers, and science to find solutions.
As the event closes tomorrow, attendees will participate in panel discussions, workshops, and networking sessions designed to foster collaboration and strengthen the global response to climate vulnerability. Key topics will include enhancing climate service systems, integrating climate data into decision-making, and sharing successful adaptation practices. As the world faces escalating environmental crisis, the demand for robust climate services is more urgent than ever. The conference's outcomes are anticipated to influence future policies and initiatives aimed at building climate resilience and risk reduction on global scale. For Star TV News, I am Sally Camara.